My name is Simon. I come here from the Tigrayan community of Washington, D.C. We are here to protest and ask the World Bank to reject the delegation that was sent by Abiy Ahmed and Isaias Afwerki to negotiate and raise funds to the ongoing war and genocide that's happening in northern part of Ethiopia. As we all know, the Tigrayans have been suffering for the past 700 plus days. Drones are being used to massacre innocent children, and funds coming from entities like the World Bank and the United States government are being used to buy bombs, drones, and other related weapons to mass massacre innocent civilians. A couple of weeks ago, a kindergarten was bombed, and over 7 children, the youngest being 2 years, has been killed. And these drones were being financed by funds that are coming from entities like the World Bank, IMF, and the likes. So we are here to ask the World Bank to reject the delegation that was sent and to uphold its part of its core mission to spread democracy and equality across the world. You can't say this while you are having innocent civilians that are being massacred in Tigray. So the delegation has entered the building as we speak, and they're negotiating with the World Bank in regards to fundings. We would like to ask the World Bank to reject this negotiation and send them back to where they come from and determine some sort of peace to our people. Then we can start talking about funds, and then we can talk about other development issues. While people are dying, being massacred, you can't come to the US to negotiate funds.
And so it seems that you guys are disappointed by the response by David Malpass of the World Bank and Kristalina Georgieva of the IMF.
100%, because what they do is they keep putting out statements saying that we condemn, we concern, but when we talk in action, as you see, they're taking them in and they're discussing facts. People are being killed and massacred as we speak. Your condemnation and concerns are not going to save our people, rather actions. When delegations are sent to the World Bank, as an entity that has core values and mission, your objective should be sending them back to broker peace and come back once peace is sustained. And that's why we're here.
And my final question, first, are you also, do you feel like the Biden administration, are they responding to the crisis the right way? And also, do you, if you can talk more generally about the situation in Ethiopia, Tigray region, for the people who don't know anything about Tigray, what's happening there, how long has the war lasted, and...
So the core point is, here's the thing, right? For the past 700 days, there's been an ongoing genocide in Tigray. People have over 500,000 innocent civilians have been killed. But when the war happened in Ukraine, within hours there were sanctions rolled out, aid being sent. We asked one question repeatedly, right? What is the difference between the Ukrainians that are getting the support in Tigray and us? Is it because we don't have blue eyes and blonde hairs? Is it because we're black? That's the question we're asking, right? The world keeps saying we're concerned, we condemn. Condemnation and concerns are not going to solve our problem. While Ukrainians, again, we support the aid that is going to Ukraine. But our question is, what is the difference between them and us? If the US and the World Bank is willing to act upon a war against Ukrainians, why not the Tigrayans as well?
And the Director General of the WHO says that it has to do with the skin color. Is that something sentiment?
100%. Because what we...
It's also from African. The African Union blatantly disregard the concerns of Tigrayans and say that it was a law enforcement operation. So it starts from Africa. It's actually the biggest flagrant foulers are the African Union. And then everybody else is echoing what the African Union is saying. Now the same African Union pledged to broker peace. So the African Union is the biggest violator of this genocide.
Okay, great. Do you have...
I understand.
Finish.
The question is... So the color matters a lot, right? The World Bank is an entity, and again, IMF is an entity that within seconds and minutes sanctioned Russia for its action against Ukraine. So if you see the difference between the Ukrainian war that's happening in Ukraine and the Ethiopian civil genocide that's happening against Tigrayans, comparatively, the Tigrayan genocide is worse, but the action taken towards the Ukrainian is much larger than the action that's been taken against Tigray. The only difference is, again, as I say, it's the color, it's the skin tone. As I say, it's because we're not blonde and we don't have blue eyes. So we have to echo, and we're asking again. Go ahead.
The donation also is not in comparison.
Our support is more so with the African Union because because we're Africans. So African problems, African Union is supposed to solve. That's what they say, but they have not done anything when it comes to Tigray genocide. So to finalize, as Russia is for Ukraine, Ethiopia is also for Tigray.
And finally, are you guys satisfied with the role of the former Nigerian president Olusegun Obasanjo?
We're not satisfied with anybody in the world.
Yeah, can I add there? We know President Obasanjo had a role in crushing the Biafra genocide about 6 years ago. And we believe he's not an honest broker in the Ethiopian. He's been there 2 years, he hasn't done anything. In fact, we believe he's sabotaging our effort. So, we don't trust the African Union or the President Obasanjo.
And finally, my last question. I know you mentioned Abiy Ahmed, who is the Ethiopian Prime Minister. What do you make of Isaiah Afwerki, who is the Eritrean? I understand.
Yes, but Ethiopia, the Ethiopian government allowed Eritrea to invade our land. They were invited, they were given permission. So of course, both are equally guilty of the genocide happening in our people, and we are asking justice to be served, both to be sanctioned. They're both equally guilty. But Abiy Ahmed Ali may enable Isaias Afwerki to invade our land and commit all these war crimes. So both are equally guilty to us. We are ashamed of African Union. We are ashamed of the international community, because I know Ukrainians are, like Simon was saying, they have blue eyes and whatnot. But you asked earlier one important question, because you was interrupted, you didn't respond. You asked what Tigray is. The whole point of Eritrea and Ethiopia wanting to cleanse us has to do with greed, or wanting to take over the land and the history. Then we are Tigrayans and we will fight back. And I wish the African Union did better, but they're not. So that is a disappointment to us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ethiopia has been committing war crimes, has been violating humanity. There is an active genocide in Tigray of Ethiopia. We are Tigrayans. We are victims of this ongoing genocide. As we stand here, we are asking the international community, delegates, anybody willing to listen, willing to make a difference, help us end this genocide going upon our people. We're asking you to say no to financing the genocidal region of Ethiopia. Hashtag Tigray genocide! Hashtag Tigray genocide! Hashtag justice of people of Tigray! Hashtag Tigray genocide! Hashtag Tigray genocide! Hashtag Tigray genocide! Hashtag free Tigray! 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 Hashtag Tigray genocide! Hashtag Tigray genocide!